Yeah, obviously not the outcome that we were after. There's some moments that we can really build from, take from. Tip of the cap to Coach Ferentz and his ball club. Obviously, a very physical, consistent unit that capitalized on the moment and the opportunity today. We got to do a better job finishing when the opportunity is there and presents to us. We got to do a great job as a staff, setting our kids up for success. And having greater attention to detail so that when the moments come, we can seize them, whether it be end of halves, end of plays, end of games, whatever the case might be, so we can finish and capitalize when it's right there in front of us.
All right, let's open it up for questions. Let's start with Alan Ma from the Record Courier. Alan?
Yeah, Coach, 2 games in a row, you're playing elite teams in the nation, and you're sitting there in the middle of the third quarter, right in the middle of a ball game, and a turnover kind of did you in. Just talk about that series of events again and how it's hard to overcome something like that, especially against a team like Iowa.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously when you're playing an elite team, top 10 opponent, top 5 opponent like Iowa, or back week 1 against Texas A&M, we got to control the controllables and we got to eliminate bad football. You have turnovers in those critical situations, then you're not giving yourself a chance to win, quite frankly. And if you can't give yourself a chance to win, you haven't earned the right to win. So before you can win big games like this and these moments and these opportunities, you got to give yourself a chance to win. We got to do a better job as a staff. I got to do a better job leading us to put a better emphasis on ball security, because clearly what I'm doing isn't enough to this point. So we got to double down our efforts with that, so we understand how critically important the ball is in those critical moments, so we can capitalize of the experiences and the moments that are in front of us to push through this wall.
From your perspective, what did it look like happened on that play?
It looked like we got a little bit of edge pressure. Looked like we, reached to make a play over the goal line, and could have done a better job putting us in a better position with a different set, a different concept, to where the edges could have been a little bit wider to protect our ball carrier there and giving him a better chance to get in the end zone. So starts with me, got to give us a better opportunity, better set there, so we can go execute and get that thing across to make it, at that point, then after the PAT, then we're sitting there and it's 16-14 and away we go.
About just the overall effort, of your defense, it gets away a little there toward the end, but and again, you made a lot of stops against a Big Ten offense. Just kind of talk about that effort overall.
Yeah, really pleased with the way we continue to fly to the football, the way that we continue to generate turnovers, and the effort that they showed at the end to finish the game the right way. You're lined up there, and knowing Coach Ferentz a little bit, and obviously their style of play, they want to convert that 4th down and take a knee. It's 4-minute offense, kind of like we were talking about last week. And for our defense to rise to the occasion, get knocked back, get a stop, it's an unbelievable way to finish. Really pleased with their effort. Obviously, things that we need to clean up, limit some of those explosive plays. But again, there's more good than bad, and continue to be pleased with the effort and the way that they're flying to the football.
Talk about Montre Miller in particular. He has all the interceptions last week, which, that gets, attention, but he made some plays today. He had to force the fumble. He made some nice open field tackles, I thought. Just talk about how much he's come along here.
Yeah, we pride ourselves as, one of our cultural core beliefs is that we're going to be mentally and physically tough. And Montre, ever since he stepped foot in the program, has done a great job growing in those particular areas, and it shows up consistently week in and week out, to where, like you said, the picks get the accolades or the attention, so to speak, but he does the dirty work. He's willing to get in there and mix it up. And, he's a physical corner, and Coach Cox, through his leadership, takes pride in his unit being those types of players. And Montre and, Capone and Elvis have all embodied those traits this year.
Talk about the guy next to you in the game he had going up against the guy that's the National Player of the Year 2 weeks ago.
Again, Keshunn, a guy who's been here for an extended period of time, and he continues to get better and better and better. So it's no surprise on a stage like today, because of the way that he goes about his business, his resiliency. He was needy, not greedy. Opportunities presented themselves, he capitalized on them. So really pleased again with his overall growth, his overall effort, and because of that, because of his work and the way that he goes about his business and the way that he loves this game, not surprising that he's found some production today.
Keshunn, can you talk about what you're able to do today with that matchup, especially in the first half?
Oh yeah, I say I give all thanks to the line, to my line, and to Dustin Cron for making the right passes, and it just the preparation. I think that we are prepared for the moment and just executed.
Do you think maybe he wasn't giving you a whole lot of respect? It seemed like he was kind of, trying to take away shorter routes, and you were able to get over top of him.
Right, he was he was just sitting in there, just took advantage of it. He was just not respecting D-Rock.
How do you feel about the offense overall today?
I feel like we did our job. We did a pretty good job. Like as you said, like in the third quarter was like kind of like the turning point, but we did good overall.
What's it like to be in your guys' shoes and to be in games with teams this good twice now, and then they get away? Do you take a lot out of that? Obviously, a lot of positives, but how do you feel just about all that now that's happened twice now?
I feel like we played good. So at the same time, like it always hurts to have a loss, but I feel like we played well. There's good and bad things, and there's a lot of good stuff that we can take from it. There's a lot of things that we have to improve on. So I just take it as a learning lesson. So it's something that we can improve on.
Let's open it up for some more questions. Jimmy, Jack from the Kent State Media, or John from the AP? Let's start with John from the AP. John, do you have any questions?
Yeah, Coach. The two long drives, they had 20 plays, 16 plays. What did that kind of do to your defense? Did that take a lot out of them, do you think?
I mean, anytime you have extended drives like that, there's going to be some effect of that. I think we do a great job rolling personnel on our defensive side and the competitive depth that we have. It allows guys to play so we can keep our guys as fresh as possible. The drive at the end of the first half, obviously, it was one of those extended drives where we had them backed up on the -5. There's some opportunities where we had to get off the field, but we got to finish that drive a little bit better. And, they end up getting a touchdown there before the end of the first half, which was kind of, one of those critical moments in the game. But it's a great lesson for us to learn that we'll be able to pull from the coaches tape, where there's the opportunities that we have to get off the field that we can learn from. And I'm eager to teach off those moments so we can grow and get better as we go forward.
I guess that's the question I wanted to ask. How do you like where you're at right now after 3 games with this team?
I love the way that we're approaching our work. Obviously, the record, where you have some missed opportunities and you're right there and you have an opportunity in front of you that you want to go snatch that you kind of let go through your fingers. It is something that we got to continue to work on our finish in that regard. So I just talked to the team about, and the way that we get to improve upon that is that we invest more throughout the course of the week. These are big stages. They're big games against big opponents, and you got to be willing to invest more. You got to put more skin in the game. You got to be willing to ante up more, push the chips all in, go all in. Hurts a little bit right now. I know I feel for the guys in the locker room because of the opportunities there. They feel it. They sense it. We come up a little bit short. But, I'm pleased by that because our kids are investing more. I'd be concerned and I'd be worried, if it didn't hurt, if it didn't burn a little bit, because that means that our guys weren't invested enough, So I love my guys. I love our locker room. I love the culture that they've created. And I know they're going to be eager to come back to work tomorrow to learn and grow from this tape. It's a step in our journey as we continue to go forward. We got another great challenge, another great opportunity out in College Park next weekend. We'll pack up shop here. We'll learn. We'll grow from it. We'll be better because of it. And, we'll continue to head down range.
All right. John, do you have any further?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Well, let's move on to Jack Burney from TV2. Jack, do you have any questions for Coach or Keshunn?
Yeah, Coach, talk a little bit about Dustin's performance today. We got to see him 2 weeks ago against Texas A&M, struggled a little bit in that game, but today he looked really good, finding different receivers, moving the ball down the field. Just talk a little bit about him and how the offense performed today.
I mean, there's some bright spots. There's some explosive plays, which, Jack, you and the guys, Alan, who have followed us and our fan base have become accustomed to. I mean, so that's going to get some flash, but we want to pride ourselves on consistency. And for right now, where I'm at, my level of expectation, the standard that we have, starting with myself, starting with our staff, first and foremost, we got to be more consistent to put our kids in better positions to operate and execute so we can have consistent success so that we're not occasionally great. It's great to have the explosive plays. We want that to be consistently a part of who we are, right? But we need to be able to do the little things, the simple execution, playing catch, identifying the fronts the proper way so that we can stay on schedule, and have success. When we stayed on schedule, we were able to string drives together and in the end zone the proper way. You go through and there's other times where we get rolling and we got a drop here or we have a missed assignment, we have a penalty, now we get off schedule. And that lack of inconsistency, again, is something that I need to do a better job emphasizing so that we can have consistency as we go. And Crum did some good things. I think he'd be the first to tell you too that he'd like to be more consistent in his effort so we can have higher execution.
Jack, do you have any follow-up questions?
Nope, I'm good.
And let's close things out with James Oswald from the Kent Stater. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, Coach. The first 2 weeks of the season saw a lot of success in the run game. Maybe not as much success this week. What were some things you were seeing from your team that maybe didn't allow you guys to see as much success there? And what do you want to do moving forward to maybe reignite the run game a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, again, just being more consistent, with how we're identifying the fronts and with our techniques and fundamentals. We're playing a really good team. There's nothing too crazy and exotic about it. They want some one-on-ones up front. We want some one-on-ones up front. Again, got to see the coach's tape to see kind of where the positives and the minuses occurred there. But again, I'm not going to make a mountain out of a molehill against a defense that is one of the best in the country. I'm pretty sure the last 25 games out, they've limited opponents under 24 points or something along those lines. So we can continue to grow and get better, and we'll do that as we move forward, learning from this experience.